Good morning and good afternoon for some people on the line. We are 1 minute to the top of the hour. I'm going to hang out for just a little bit more, allow some people to get off their last meeting and join us for this exciting training and presentation. So just hang on for a couple seconds and we'll be right back. All right, let's get this started. Good morning, good afternoon for everyone on the line. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your Wednesday to join us to learn about some of the touchless hydration product options that are available to you, as well as a relatively newer product for Haws Corporation. Excited to introduce you to some of these new products and help you solve some of these touchless wants and needs for your customers or for your own facilities. So today with me is Danielle Rizzuto. She is the Haws marketing coordinator. She is on the back end making sure everything runs smoothly. My name is Samantha Hoke. I'm the regional sales director for Haws Corporation in the Eastern United States. So I'm joining everybody after lunch over here. We're going to spend about 45 minutes, potentially maybe even a little bit shorter if I talk nice and quick, to go over these products. So very, very excited here today. The agenda is as follows. Whoops, there we go. So the main topic of discussion is going to go over the touchless hydration portfolio. Then we'll dive into the electric water cooler, deep dive into the features and benefits available on that product. And then we'll go over some more standard bottle fillers that we offer that aren't touchless, but still a great solution to facilities and customers wanting to add bottle fillers to maybe their existing drinking fountains and other hydration products. We're going to be skipping a Q&A session at the end. And so what I'd like to ask you to do instead is simply type in your questions in the questions box on your control panel. And after the webinar, we'll collect all those. We're going to answer all of them in a Word document and make sure that that is sent to everybody after the webinar. So you'll get your answers then. That will be within 24 to 48 hours after the presentation. We'll send that Q&A document. You'll also get a link to the recording of today's webinar if you feel inclined to forward on to some coworkers or listen to me talk again for another 45 minutes. We'll include the slides and some additional support materials, some flyers and brochures on the products that we talk about today. So today is really a product-focused training. These types of products are dictated by a standard that is the Americans with Disabilities Act standard, ADA. And we do have a second presentation that we're open to presenting to you and that we have on demand on our YouTube page as well. That is more on the educational side in relation to the ADA standard and how these products have to adhere to that. But again, just as a forewarning, today is very product focused. So a lot has been going on since COVID. A lot of changes with building elements within facilities, a lot of code requirements. Obviously, the idea is to stop touching products where many other people could be touching it and potentially spreading the virus. But what I will say is that the CDC provided a reopening guide recently in relation to what you should and what you shouldn't do for different types of building elements to make sure that we are still providing the proper accessibility. So what they told us, specific to drinking fountains and bottle fillers, is that the ADA standard must still be adhered to. There are no exceptions. And that we cannot be ripping out existing drinking fountains and replacing them with bottle fillers. That was strongly written in this reopening guide, and what they said is acceptable is that you can add a bottle filler in addition to your drinking fountains as a supplemental piece of hydration equipment, but it cannot replace them. And the reason being is that the reason we have drinking fountains is they are designed for people with different types of disabilities. Someone in a wheelchair needs to be able to access drinking water. Somebody with bending or stooping disability still needs to be able to access drinking water, and that is typically through our drinking fountains. So if you're sitting there with a plan to rip out your drinking fountains and put in bottle fillers, think again, let's play the safe route. Let's make sure we're adhering to the ADA standard and simply utilize a bottle filler as an additional touchless hydration option. So these are some of the wonky things we're seeing out there. We're seeing these little covers, locked covers over the bubbler heads of the drinking fountains to get people not to put their face close to that. We're seeing signs that are recommending people use the touchless bottle filler, which is right next to or above the drinking fountain. But in the end, CDC says you must have your drinking fountain still. All right, let's dive into the products related to touchless and what is available through Haws. Some of the benefits to touchless are pretty common sense, right? It's going to be much more sanitary way to obtain drinking water, especially in public places, outdoors, indoors, airports, all over the place where people all over the world are gathering and touching these public products. So what the touchless types of products allow is for you to simply use a front motion in front of the sensor, eliminating the need for any manual activation or hand touching or surface to hand touch. And in order to retrofit some of your existing hydration products to a touchless electric sensor, it's a very quick installation. You're able to do it out in the field. Very quick, easy way to feel safer and offer more hygienic hydration product activation out in the field. So some of the products that are available, what we've done is we've incorporated a sensor-operated solenoid valve. That's going to allow a hands-free, hygienic operation of drinking fountains with a simple front motion, as mentioned earlier. You can see some of these pictures. We've got the option of your high-low drinking fountains, because we've got a high one for those with disabilities bending down or stooping, and the low drinking fountain for those who are in a wheelchair. We have the ability to have those both sensor operated, one of them sensor operated with the other one still manual. We also have an offering up here in the top right where you've got a bottle filler above your low drinking fountain to allow those who may be bringing a reusable bottle to fill up their bottle through a sensor as well. So we've got many options to be able to offer a touchless hydration experience. If you're familiar with Haws, you probably know that we invented the drinking fountain back in 1906. So we are 114 years old this year, and I like to say we've done a darn good job in designing drinking fountains, and we've got an array of designs, an array of product offerings, from drinking fountains to bottle fillers, manually operated, touch-free, indoor, outdoor. So if you're familiar with us and you know some of our model numbers, the way that we've designated these new touchless products is just by simply adding an HO to the end of the model number. To make it simple for those of you who do know our model numbers, and HO stands for hands off. So pretty easy and intuitive there. What we've also recently launched is the ability for you or your customers to take existing drinking fountains that had manual operation and retrofit them with the sensor to make it touch-free. As mentioned earlier, it can be one sensor or it can be both. I will point out that, as most people know, a sensor is always recommended for indoor use and indoor fountains, because anything outdoors, the sunlight or the inclement weather, could negatively affect a sensor. So just a heads up there. This is all available now through Haws. You can start talking to your customers. You can start tallying the drinking fountains you have in your own facilities and see what it would take to retrofit them up to a touch-free sensor-operated product. The benefits of this retrofit or a new product with a sensor is you're going to be offering a hands-free touchless operation. Again, we can convert most Haws fountains that are already out in the field to sensor operated, as well as some of our bottle fillers. So you'll see a particular model here. This is the Haws model 1920 with the push button operation. With that simple retrofit, we now are offering it as touchless and sensor operated. This is going to allow you to reduce the amount of times that you're cleaning, because there really shouldn't be any touch points unless you're the type that is beyond thirsty and you're putting your mouth on the bubbler head, which I highly advise you do not do. But sure, we see the child every now and then putting their mouth over the bubbler and gross. But the idea is we want to make this a completely touch-free experience. In the end, that's going to help slow the spread of germs, right? Another bottle filler option that we have that's touchless is our Hydration by Haws series. We have two models. One is recessed in the wall and one is surface mounted, just kind of depending on the wall that it might be installed on. It's a very aesthetically pleasing bottle filler. Of course, it's sensor operated. The nozzle where the water comes out and the drain plate are both antimicrobial plastic. So we're ensuring that if somebody were to grab their water bottle to refill and they put the mouth right up onto the dispensing area, that antimicrobial component will help with that safety and the spread of germs. These are filtered units, so there is built-in filtration that's going to ensure clean filtered water every fill. It's 2,500 gallons in the filter. So, you know, unless we're at an airport that's running 24/7 every day of the week, you're more than likely not going to have to change out that filter but once a year, which is the minimum recommended time that you'd want to change that out. So it's got a long lifespan, and that's going to require less maintenance for you having to go in and change that filter. Filter change is very easy. These products, as you can kind of see, there's somewhat of a front door, if you will, that opens up with a special key that you will have and allows you to change the filter right from the front. So very, very easy access to changing that filter out. It does have a life cycle control filter. That means we are at every fill, we are judging where the filter life is at. So there is a little filter indicator light on the right side of these units. You can probably see it slightly. During activation, that light is going to flash green when the filter is still good. So it's got a majority of its lifespan remaining. The light is then going to It is going to flash yellow to let us know that we're running a little low on the filter and a filter change is going to be needed soon. But it still has plenty of time. So you're not needing to run frantically to order a new filter, overnight it, and get it changed. We set this to be right at about 10% of the life of the filter remaining. So you've got plenty of time to go grab it out of storage or order it through your Haws rep. And then, of course, the light will flash red when the filter has been exhausted. All 2,500 gallons of water have run through it. What's also going to happen, and this is pretty key, this is a built-in safety feature. When the filter has met its capacity, it's going to stop dispensing water to ensure that we are not filtering bad water. And that simple solution is to just change out the filter. The life cycle control mechanism will recognize there's a brand new filter in there and the water will begin dispensing again. Especially with a lot of the water quality issues that have been going on in the recent decades, we want to make sure that we are confidently providing well-filtered water to everybody in our facilities. This unit is able to be customized as well. We know universities and hotels love their names on any and everything that they possibly can. Brand, 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 right? So we've created a panel that allows you to put on your logo. You can put on a phrase, hey, fill up your bottle here, save plastic. single-use bottles, whatever you want to stick on there, you're able to do that. You could also leave it blank if you're looking for a relatively cleaner look. But it does come standard with the Hydration by Haws plate that is optional to actually put on there or not. So we've got customization options. And really not just for this Hydration by Haws bottle filler, but this panel is about, let's say, 6 inches by 3 inches. So if you have a drinking fountain in your facility with a back panel and there's enough room for you to put this plate on there, go for it. You can customize this plate and slap it wherever you want to slap it. All right, let's dive into our electric water cooler, which I will now be referencing as EWC. This recently became available through Haws earlier this year, about March, April. So very, very exciting to be able to offer a new look, a new design, and new functionality, and more up-to-date functionality for everyone out there. There really only are a couple of electric water cooler models available in the market, and I'm happy to be able to introduce something that's a little more modern and has energy efficiency features and benefits built in that some of the other coolers don't offer you today. And one of the biggest benefits with this new water cooler by Haws is the ability to retrofit over existing water coolers in the market. So if you had a style you're not liking anymore, maybe it's broken down, maybe the maintenance has become a hassle, or you're simply intrigued by some of the features and benefits of this cooler, this can be retrofitted over the existing rough-ins of other models. I would say about 95% of other models can be retrofitted over. The design is progressive. It looks cleaner, it looks sleeker, it looks newer. Yes, those architects and engineers out there on the line, we asked you what you like and what you don't like with the current designs available to you. And I believe we did a good job of taking your opinions and putting it into our design. We wanted to make it look different, make it look a little more welcoming at the same time. You're not having to stick your hand and your bottle into a scary little cavity where a monster might come out and eat your hand. It's an open, more welcoming design. In comparative testing, and this may only be pertinent to some locations, let's say maybe a lobby where there's ambiance or you want a quiet area, maybe a classroom where students are taking tests, or a public library. In comparative testing, the sound level of our unit versus existing other manufacturers' units is about 5% quieter than the leading competitor in water coolers. So again, may not be an applicable feature to everybody, but in some cases it could make a difference. We do have proprietary electronics for enhanced LED communications at the unit. I'm going to dive into that in the next couple slides to get a little more detail there. And built-in standard smart energy savings capabilities, which I'll also talk about in just a second. So what does our product offering look like? We really have 4 main designs, and it's what you're seeing on the screen. But we have a total of 8 models, because 4 of them are with a filter and 4 of them are without a filter. So you have an option. So we really have 8 model numbers with 4 different designs. So your top left product is going to be your high and your low drinking fountain electric water cooler with your bottle filler addition. Your top right is going to be your single electric water cooler with your bottle filler addition. Bottom left is going to be your standard high-low electric water cooler, and your bottom right is just going to be your single. I like to remind everybody, the reason we have high and low combination electric water coolers or drinking fountains is to adhere to the ADA standard. They say at minimum, you must always have 1 high and 1 low drinking fountain at the required height for the 2 different types of disabilities, and make sure everybody gets drinking water. The reason we offer singles is because maybe you're doing a renovation, or maybe you're updating your facility, and you might already have your low fountain on the first floor, but you realized you need your high fountain, so you'll purchase a single and do that. Or maybe, and maybe you don't want them right next to each other. They don't have to be right next to each other. But just keep in mind, for those on the line, those specifiers on the line, we always need a high and we always need a low. For those distributors on the line, we need to always make sure that we're educating our customers that you need a high and you need a low. And for all you end users, just make sure we're playing it safe and you've got your high and you've got your low for ADA compliance. Specific to the bottle filler on our electric water cooler, our bottle filler is hands-free. It is a sensor-operated bottle filler that's offering a 1.1 GPM flow rate. Nice quick flow rate. We're going to make sure that there's no lines at the airport, no lines, at the school trying to fill up your bottle in between class. It's going to fill up nice and quick, but not too quick that it's running through the filter too fast. We have to make sure we're meeting the NSF standards for filtration and making sure that the water spends enough time going through that filter, right? It has an intuitive LED display, so you'll see that little bump out picture there, and on it, the first thing at the top is going to be your beloved bottle counter. We know that universities and schools and many other facilities love to be able to calculate how many single-use plastic bottles they have saved by offering a bottle filler and people bringing their reusable bottle. I don't go anywhere without my reusable bottle. So, and we all know bottle fillers are getting more and more popular. So this is a great option for that. We have built in something unique, something that is not available in other electric water coolers. And that's going to be a smart 24-hour auto purge. And the benefit of an auto purge is to prevent Legionella or any other type of bacterial growth that could happen in the stagnant areas of piping where the water might be sitting, maybe over a weekend, or think about a school where school's not in session over the summer. We want to make sure that this unit is purging in case someone does come in and use that water or drink that water. But what's unique is our unit is only going to auto purge after 24 hours of non-use. So go back to that airport that we're in and someone's using that bottle filler every 5 minutes. Well, there's really no need to be wasting that energy or that water to auto purge. So ours is intuitive in the idea that it recognizes 24 hours of non-use and it's saying, okay, let's clear the lines. It's been a little too long since I've been activated, right? Built-in safety feature there. The sensor itself is adjustable. If that's a desire, a need, it can be more sensitive, it can be less sensitive. The entire display itself can be brightened or dimmed. Again, going back to maybe that ambiance desire or look that they're trying to design. There is a hidden info display that through a button that is only accessible by a maintenance person or someone who has a special key to get to it can press that button and it brings up arrows and a select button. And what that's going to allow you to do is go through all types of programming. You'll be able to set the unit to be energy efficient on weekends, on planned shutdowns, during summer when school is out, or hey, maybe during a global pandemic when nobody's in the building. Why do we need to be running the compressor, chilling the water, and wasting energy for months at a time? We don't. So you're able to program our cooler to essentially save energy whenever you want. And I think that's very unique to our product and very modern in what a lot of people are looking for. We're trying to build more energy efficient and LEED type buildings. The hidden info display will also, as you go through the programming, it'll let you know where the filter status is at. So if you wanted to check that every couple months and make sure you're prepared and you've got your filter, that's something you can do as well. So if you look down here at the chart at the bottom, we've got a filtering icon on that bottle filler back panel. And what it's really showing here in this chart is that it will just simply, that icon will flash in different levels based on how much of the filter life is remaining. So if we have a majority of, if we have 90% of the filter life remaining, that filtering icon is going to stay solid. If we've gotten down to 10%, which let me tell you is still 300 gallons of water, so again, no need to freak out and run and go get a new filter. It will simply intermittent flash during activation or slow pulse. And if the filter is expired, we've run 3,000 gallons of water through the filter, that light that filtering icon will actually flash faster and the display will say to change filter. And similar to that other bottle filler I just showed you, it will stop dispensing water to make sure that we've got clean water running through and providing clean water to our users. If you don't have a filtered unit, then you won't have that filtered icon on that back panel. And then our energy savings mode, same idea. If it's enabled, that icon will be solid. If it's actually active, so say overnight or on the weekends or whenever you've got it programmed to, it will intermittent flash. Let's dive into the filtration. That is Haws model 6428 for the 4 models that offer filtration. It is proprietary to Haws, and the reason being is our unit, our filter actually talks to our water cooler. So if you're trying to be sneaky and twist that filter out and put the same one back in hopes that it'll reset itself and you can use it for another year, that's not going to work. Our unit is smart in that it will recognize and read the filter status life and know that this is an exhausted filter. That is just a safety feature that we got feedback on. That's the way we want to be providing good water to our students and to users and to ourselves, right? I mean, we're all using bottle fillers too, and water coolers. As mentioned, filtration is an option with the electric water cooler series. It is your standard 1 micron carbon block filter cartridge. That's going to clean out 99.9% of lead, cysts, taste, and odor. This is an industry-leading 3,000 gallon filter. That's one of the larger filters available in the market within the water cooler space. Some of the other standard filters that other manufacturers are offering are typically around 1,500 or 2,000 gallons. That means you're going to have to change the filter more often. Haws is only offering the 3,000 gallon filter, so you really shouldn't have to be changing it anywhere near as much. Very long lasting. To make it easy to replace it, our unit has an auto water stop upon filter removal. So you just twist it a quarter turn, it's going to shut off the water so you don't have to get behind the wall or find the water shut off. It's very simple to change out your filters as well. How about that energy savings feature that I'm sure everybody's really excited that they heard a little bit about, because it's not something that's out there right now. And the way it works is the energy savings mode, meaning we're not pulling energy. The compressor has paused on chilling water when it doesn't need to be chilled. That is activated when the unit is inactive for 60 minutes and when the ambient light is dimmed or off for 60 minutes as well. So an example, we're in an office, it's 5 o'clock, everybody's going home. The last person leaving the building grabs their bottle, fills it up, or grabs a drink out of the drinking fountain and then turns the lights off. Well, at 6 o'clock, the unit recognized that it was inactive for 60 minutes and the area lights are off. So it is going to go into energy savings mode and stop pulling unnecessary energy and chilling water that doesn't need to be chilled. So very smart. Then to be reactivated for energy savings mode to turn off and for us to start chilling the water again, it's as simple as the first person at 8 a.m. to walk in the room, click the lights on, the unit recognizes the lights just turned on, and it's instantly going to chill your water and be ready for that person to fill up their bottle or take a drink out of the drinking fountain. Or if for some reason people walk in the office and don't turn the lights on, I'm not sure if that's a thing, but if people do that, another way to activate the water to start chilling is to simply either press the push bar on the drinking fountain or put your hand by the sensor. Just kind of reactivate the unit and it turns itself back on and you've got chilled water within seconds. From an installation and retrofit standpoint, the benefit here was creating this unit to have large clearances. So those large clearances have given us 3 benefits. 1, we can retrofit over all types of rough-ins. So if that P-trap is a ½ inch to the right or 1 inch to the left, we can most likely retrofit over that. We've got such big clearances in the back that we've got the wiggle room. A lot of the feedback we heard based on the existing offerings of coolers from other manufacturers is, There is no wiggle room with installation. If the rough ends weren't done perfect, I'm sitting there with a hammer, smacking the P-trap, moving the electrical just to get this darn cooler on the wall, and I've got 50 more coolers in this building. We don't want your time installing spent on water coolers. We want this to be quick and easy. With those large clearances, that helps with easy filter replacement. So we don't have wires crossing over the filter and the compressor in the way of the filter. It's a nice, clean, easy retrofit and easy to maintain if there is any need for you to get in there outside of the filter changes. In addition, and the last benefit here, we had plumbers take our unit and take a competitor's unit, some other manufacturer's unit, do a side-by-side installation, and we did a handful of these. And what we found is, based on our large clearances, our simplified design, we estimate 40 to 60 minutes saved on each installation. So go back to my example of 50 water coolers. Well, that's a lot of time saved. That's a lot of days saved installing water coolers if it's that simple. Let me show you a picture. Here's a comparison of another manufacturer's unit to ours. So definitely a simplified design to allow for ease of installation, a lot cleaner, not a lot of things in the way. You've got plenty of room for your electrical plug-in as well as your plumbing. From a footprint standpoint, ours is actually a little bit smaller than the main competitor out there right now. That's going to be beneficial when it comes to ADA compliance. So an example, California, the state of California requires that all building elements that protrude out of the wall off the wall more than 4 inches are required to be designed and installed within an alcove. I'm sorry, architects and engineers out there in California, that's got to be tough. I mean, every water cooler, every potentially fire extinguisher, all those building elements have to be within an alcove and out of the path of travel for ADA compliance. So what having a smaller unit is going to do, it's going to allow that alcove to be smaller and save some room for whatever else needs to be in that area. From a certification standpoint, we've hit it all. Don't worry. We are ADA compliant. We're designed and assembled in the United States. We've hit all your NSF and ANSI requirements for filtration, your UL requirements for electrical, et cetera, et cetera. We have a handful of different patents based on some of the special features that we talked about. From a maintenance standpoint, really minimal maintenance. There's stainless steel, there's plastic piece components. Those should be pretty common sense on how to clean those and what chemicals or cleaning agents to use for those. With anything with a compressor or condenser, we have to be cautious of condenser dust. That's not unique to our unit. That's just a, in general, maintenance piece. Filtration is nice and easy, as we showed you, simply a quarter turn in and a quarter turn out. For any non-filtered units, there is a built-in wide strainer to capture any sediment. That's easily accessible to rinse underwater and put back in if there is any hard water or buildup. From a warranty standpoint, it's a standard 1-year warranty on everything. If you're having trouble with refrigeration component, that's a 5-year prorated warranty. And we've, of course, have all your O&Ms, your warranty paperwork, and your parts manual. But don't worry, nothing's going to happen to these coolers. They're beautiful, they're great, right? Okay, let's talk about some other bottle filler options that we have. Say you're not that keen on the touchless move, but you like the idea of adding a bottle filler to your existing drinking fountains. There's a handful of options that we have. They can be wall mounted, either recessed or surface mounted on the wall. They can be mounted over an existing drinking fountain, as you can see with the gentleman in the bottom right over here. They can be filtered or non-filtered. And in addition to Haws being the inventor of the drinking fountain in 1906, we actually came up with the original first filtered bottle filler in 2010. And that's right when the bottle filler started. That's when everybody got really excited about bottle fillers and we started to see them become more and more popular. It was right around 2010. So here's a couple options for unfiltered bottle fillers. Right over here in the top, looks like a little mini gooseneck. That's going to be a standard glass filler. That's a great, easy, cost-effective way to add a bottle filler to an existing fountain. Typically, we see these just drilled into the back base of the fountain. Down here, we have the Haws model 1900. This is a very cost-effective, manually operated bottle filler option to put over an existing drinking fountain as well as existing water coolers. As long as, you know, the back is flat, we can typically install this on anybody's existing products. What's also great about this particular unit, the Model 1900, is it does not require you to cut a hole in the wall and put mounting frames in there. It's a simple, you know, attachment to the wall with a couple screws. So not obtrusive, this unit. The unit in the top right is our Model 1920. This one does require you to go into the wall, but that's because the idea behind it is to be vandal resistant. It's all stainless steel, to take 300 pounds of pressure. We're going to put this in the public areas where we're concerned with vandalism, or there's high traffic, or, you know, could get beat up by equipment, machinery, whatever it may be. Great secondary, a great solution on ways to add a bottle filler to an existing fountain. We can also add bottle fillers to your outdoor fountains in your parks and rec areas by simply adding this extender and putting our Model 1920 bottle filler over it, which drains directly into the existing drinking fountain. So many different solutions. These types of bottle fillers are really low maintenance. They have no electrical consumption. They can be retrofit or standalone. They can be chilled or unchilled, indoor and outdoor. And through the Haws 5874 push button valve that you're seeing, the circular activation valve on all of our manually operated products, this allows you to clean out the cartridge or the strainer through the front of that push button. So you do not have to rip your drinking fountain off the wall to get to your tiny strainer. In addition, you can make flow adjustments through the front of that push button valve as well. So that really makes any type of maintenance much, much easier. No need to be pulling anything off the wall and rebuilding it back on the wall. Haws also offers a modular outdoor bottle filler and drinking fountain series. So the idea, if you can visualize it in your head, is to take this pedestal, and that's what you're purchasing. And then you get to decide which accessories you want to add and where you want to place them. So the 4 different accessory options are a bottle filler, which you're seeing on the top of the 3 units on the right. Of course, your drinking fountains, which you can add on different sides, maybe one on the back. You could always put a bottle filler on the top. We've got your beloved doggy bowl, right? We love to have our dogs to be able to drink water when they're on a walk as well. That's an option. And then the last option is going to be a hose bib, which you're not seeing in this picture, but I will show you in a couple slides. That can be locked in with a special key, or it can be exposed. So in a lot of park areas, we have events and we need access to a hose bib. That's an option as well. These arms are interchangeable. You can kind of configure it as you see fit. And it's also, some of these are also interchangeable in the field. So that's really exciting that you're able to kind of flip and flop depending on maybe an event that you're having that weekend and you want more drinking fountains than bottle fillers, or more bottle fillers than drinking fountains, or you're having a dog party, so let's put the doggy bowl on there. It's made of 3/16 inch stainless steel. So that's going to be really durable. It's going to weather any climates out there from beating in the sunshine or the rain or the snow. Very durable makeup. It's ADA compliant on most configurations. If you create an octopus out of this and you put 17 different accessories, then you're probably going to be messing with ADA compliance. But when you reach out to Haws on this product, we'll help steer you in the right direction, make sure that you've got your ADA configuration. There's an option, the pedestal that I was talking about, this base pedestal is equipped with 4 placement options around the top, 1 on the top and 3 around, 2 on the side, 1 on the back. And then down at the bottom, you can actually add 3 bottom accessories, which would be either your doggy bowl or your hose bib. You can see it in a lockable cage here. There's customization options. So we can customize the drain plate, put in City of Vancouver, fill your bottle here, you know, Pittsburgh University, whatever it may be. You can also change the color. We've got three, the standard color is going to be silver, we could do blue and green, and we can actually match the RAL color that you desire. So we can do custom colors. Already went over this. Here's some of your other accessories. Only 2 more slides left, but we're going to be launching a poll after this slide. I'd love to ask you all to answer the poll question before we go. And then the last slide is going to have contact information. So just a reminder, everybody should know that in 2010, AB 1953, the California Assembly Bill stated that all, not just California, all plumbing equipment related to consumption, including piping, fittings, and fixtures, have to have a lead content level less than 0.25%. That went into effect in January of 2010, and everything installed on or after that date need to meet it. Just for some confidence here and reassurance that Haws drinking fountain products, bottle filler products, all of our products related to this standard, any plumbing equipment, have been lead-free since 1990. So we were ahead of the game. No worries about meeting those standards. So Danielle, if you don't mind launching the poll question, that would be great. Let's see, it should pop up here. There we go. So we'd like to know if you want to be contacted directly by your local Haws rep or a regional sales director such as myself about any of our touchless hydration options. We understand that this is a huge movement right now. We're also understanding that along with toilet paper and cleaning agents, that drinking fountains and bottle fillers are running out as well. We're hearing a lot of lead time issues. Haws, reach out to us. We've got a lot of stuff in stock. We are ready for you. We've got our electric water coolers on hand. We have our retrofit sensor kits. We have our existing, our drinking fountain models with the sensors in them. We've got our retrofit bottle fillers, everything we went over, we're ready, you know. So if you're ready to take the step to go sensor operated or just simply add some bottle fillers, hit yes on the poll question and we'll make sure that you're reached out to and we'll get you all the information you need. Thanks, Danielle, for the poll question. I'm going to advance the slide to the last slide here. So, hey, right on time, 3 minutes to spare. We just launched a new website. Check it out. We've got all the touchless stuff we just talked about today on there, plus more. If you know Haws, we also, the other side of our business is safety showers and eye washes. So we've got all that equipment on there as well. We've got a couple numbers up here for you to reach out to Haws customer service and Haws technical support. Another feature on our website is live chat. So you got a quick question, want a quick answer, try out the live chat. So thank you everybody so much for hanging out with me to go over some of these cool new products out there. We will be sending that follow-up email as mentioned with any of the questions and answers that you submitted today. We're going to send you some flyers on these products and we'll send you the slides from today as well as the recording. So thanks again for joining myself and Danielle. Happy rest of your Wednesday, and I'm sure we'll all talk soon. Thanks so much, everyone. Stay safe.